Unlocking Marital Bliss.
Hi, you so much. Welcome to Unlocking Marital Bliss with me, Cyrus Road, right here from the Big Network. And it's an honor to always do this from this prestigious Fairway Hotel in Kampala, Uganda. I'm always excited when it comes to Unlocking Marital Bliss because I'm having a great marriage and I'm succeeding, and many people are listening and watching and picking up the wisdom, and they're succeeding equally. So what else can I ask for? Everything is good. And I'm glad you tuned in because you're not going to remain the same. You're going to see real change as we begin talking this very afternoon. You're going to see serious change if you can receive what you're going to be learning and then put it in action. That's the whole difference between a fool and a wise person. A fool can hear and never put in action. A wise man will hear and they will put in action. That is where the difference is. And tonight I'm just so excited with my usual suspect in studio, and we're going to be able to talk and bring forth some realities here that I believe are going to help you really succeed and also help you understand all about love, because love is the heart of a relationship. It's all about love. Any relationship that will succeed, it's all about love. I think it was Robert Marley who declared, he did a song, is this love, is this love, is this love, is this love that I'm feeling? And that's the question. Is this love? Many of you are seated, you're watching, and the question is this love that I'm feeling? What's going on? And some of you are like, this is love that I'm feeling, and I'm ready to move forward. I found a guy, he's rich, he can do this. So we're going to find out which of you really have love. Is it love or a transaction? Because most people today, what do you call love is actually not love. It's a transaction. And that's why many marriages fail, because you hold on to a transaction and you ignore love. But tonight we're going to find out how you can be able to succeed as somebody who's committed, okay? Who's committed to love, not a transaction. And tonight in studio, the person ready to discuss this with me is none other than the usual Brian Semfuma. It's a pleasure to have you, bro.
It's always an honor.
Thanks for coming into Unlocking Marital Bliss. Every time I call you in, you're always there.
It's always an honor to come
Good to see you.
and share this experience with you.
How's Angie?
It's good.
Good.
Good, yeah.
You want to say a word to Angie before we proceed?
Stay tuned in.
Okay. Now, Brian, it's so amazing. When we talk about, is this love or is it a transaction? Okay? Is this love or is it a transaction? I'm glad you have your Angie and you're loving her or you're transacting. Now, this is where I need to know, because we have our viewers and you're in the hot set, because you got to represent, is this love or we're transacting? I mean, many girls today will see, okay, Brian, you look good, you look great. Hey, I'm ready. I got everything for you. If you can buy me an iPhone 6, 10, an iPhone, I need a Pro Max, and then I'm going to love you. What do you have to say about this, I feel love, and then transaction?
I think, Pastor Cyrus, before I get into the depth of the red seat, help us understand the difference between transaction, which probably I think is an investment and a return on investment, and love itself. We always have that true statement about what love is. So before because I'm in the red seat, and I have to help someone understand that today in this generation, the word love is thrown around so easily, but yet we're actually saying I'm transacting.
Oh, yeah, you said it. It's always to say, I love you. Many times people use the word, those three words, I love you. And they literally mean, oh, probably you give them a gift and they get excited. Oh my goodness, I love you. It's another way of saying thank you. You know, It's another way of saying, I'm glad. And then we just use the 3 words, I love you. But we really don't understand what those 3 words mean, because those 3 words can change your life forever if you understand them. But I can tell you 99% don't understand those 3 words. If they did understand the 3 words, we would have no problem at all. Now the 3 words, I love you. You get me? This is what it means. I have made a conscious decision to seek what is best for you in Christ at my expense.
Now, you see right there that word. That's why I asked you to say it. Expense. Now, someone out there is thinking, aha, I got you, Pastor Cyrus. That's transaction right there.
Now, that is not transaction, actually. You see, what happens is, with love, it's not a feeling.
Okay.
Love is not a feeling. And I tell people, most people just have chemistry. The chemicals released, and they get together, and then they feel good. You know, dopamine is released. You feel excited, and then you feel like, ooh, yeah, this is love. Well, that is not love. It's not about how you feel. Love is a choice. It's not a feeling, okay? I mean, when you love somebody, these other bodily stuff, the biology can do whatever it can do, but that is not love. And I'll share this very plainly. There are only 2 ways of starting a relationship. You either start it by biology, the way you feel, and then you say, oh, I'm in love. And then you say, oh, I've fallen in love. You don't fall in love, because that's a mistake. Falling is an accident, okay? Falling is an accident. So, but because you don't know what love is, God created the hormones and the chemicals in you, and they do the natural attraction, and then you call it love. But when these chemicals are there and you start, it will lead you to transaction. It cannot be love, because it's going to be, what do I get in return? If I'm going the side, I got to get something in return. It's got to be about what I can get, as long as it starts at the biology level, at the chemical level, at this hormonal level, feelings, okay? And then there's another level, or another way to start a relationship, that when the hormones, and this is a few people get to this level, but whoever gets to that level succeeds. You cannot fail. It's failure proof. The first level, that's where every Tom, Dick, and Harry, all the failures are there. Those who succeed are on this other level, or this other way of starting a relationship. They never reach out to a girl or to a human being until they reach out to God.
That's true right
there.
The
vertical connection first.
That's true right there. But I want to draw you back a bit on the transaction versus love. What we are exactly talking about right now.
Yes.
And remember, I'm in a hot seat.
Okay.
I want to submit to you that we are already failing to relate better because of our upbringing. The stem, the root of where we start from. And I'm going to submit something to you. If my parents growing up were probably 6 people in a home, and we're all going to school, thank God, and they tell me, when you make grades, better grades, I'm going to buy you a bicycle. They tell the same thing to my brother. They tell the same thing to my other brother. They tell something else to my sister. So game is on. Competition has just started. Now, this is it's not wrong to entice a child, to give them a momentum in order to be able to become what they should become. But you see, what has happened today is that there is no communication, that the education is good for you. Instead, it comes out as a reward. When I work hard, I'm going to get more money. When I work hard, I'm going to have a successful marriage. When I work hard, I have a name to myself, and that will bring attraction to me. So I work hard because there is a reward at the end. You see, that's transaction right there.
Yeah.
So I start on the wrong foot immediately. Yes. I go to school, my grades don't come out right. My brother gets a bicycle, I don't. So in my mind, I'm thinking, So I'm reading for a bicycle. Now, this is in an aspect that is not clear to me yet. I'm reading because I need to get a bicycle, not reading because I need this kind of education.
Yes.
Now, a child has already begun on the wrong foot. He goes to campus, gets married, finds this nice woman. Pastor Cyrus, Robbie looks so pretty. She's beautiful.
Yes.
Now, imagine a young man seeing a young woman all carved out really well. And he sits near her, probably to try and get to know her, maybe get her name, phone number, things like that. And she's talking to a friend of hers, a girl connection.
Yes.
And they're talking about this man who is trying to date her.
Okay.
Today's language is vibe, you know. So, and she's saying to her friend, I'm hearing, she's saying, he can't even pay my one rent. My rent is about 600,000.
Okay.
And he can't meet that one rent, just one thing. And he thinks I'm going to go with him.
Okay.
Now, I'm here listening to this. So I'm thinking, my job pays me 3 million. 600 is petty cash.
Yeah.
I already have an advantage over the other guy.
Okay.
You see, because I was already brought up badly,
Yeah.
I think everything has to have invest, return. But in hiding it, because you brought it out so well, in hiding it, I think this is love. So I engulf my emotions into this woman, invest in this woman emotionally, but yet I'm investing financially.
Yes.
In order to get her to see me, to look this side,
Yes.
to travel with me. And so this is where we have begun. This is where we have set off.
Okay.
We are not even talking about what God wants. Because remember what Jesus said in Matthew 6:33? Seek ye first the kingdom of God and its righteousness, and these things shall be added. Now, we have convinced ourselves in this generation
Yes.
that love without material is no love at all. So I'm asking you, can you, this generation, I don't know about Robbie, maybe Robbie is so different, she's a different breed. How do you convince a woman
Yeah.
to look your way? Because remember, according to statistics, men are fewer,
Yeah.
women are many.
Yes.
So probably there's a scramble for,
For the few men.
for the few men. I am among the lucky ones to find this nice, gorgeous woman. But the catch is, I have to be able to meet her rent.
Now, Brian, if the catch is I have to be able to meet her rent, that is an error. That is not even love. You see, let us get something over here. In growing up, you're being enticed to work hard so you may be rewarded. Do this so you may be rewarded. Where does all this come from? It comes from parents that haven't understood what love is. So parents came together because of the feelings. They came together. They cannot tell this child, this is good for you. Clean the cups because we are a family. We work together. It's good for the family that you can participate and we work it out together. So can you clean the cups? And that's how it's going to be. So we begin working together as a family. Okay? Now I'm ministering love to the children because the children need love in order for them to develop and be lovers.
They are seeing it as punishment.
Now, they're seeing it as punishment, but it's my responsibility as a parent to show them what love is. As I minister to them, they will be able to understand what love is. As I minister to them, not one day, not twice, but I show them where love is. This is what follows. Don't just think about yourself, think about others. Okay? Mama did the cooking, I did this, and so did this. So I went out of my comfort zone to make sure everyone is okay. Can you get out of your comfort zone and wash the caps so everyone is okay? You're loving people now. You're loving them. Okay? But if it's, you're going to do this so I may reward you, now it's because I as a parent also can face a challenge that I don't know what love is. Now, not knowing what love is, let me show you this. Going deeper where you started. I come in and I see this beautiful girl. But there's something that I'm suffering that most people do not even know.
Right.
Every human being born of a woman, born of a woman, is afraid of one thing:
Rejection.
rejection. You get me? I fear to be rejected. And in the fear to be rejected, there's something I'm running from: reality.
So where is the build-up of this rejection? Because I like the way...
That's where I'm going.
Okay.
Why is it the fear of rejection? Genesis chapter 3, the Bible is so clear. Adam sins. When Adam sins, he literally rejected God and wanted to do stuff his own way. You get me? So when he rejected God and he did what God warned against doing, he did it. When he did it, guess what? He was rejecting God. But who felt the rejection? It was Adam. And God was still there. Hey, where are you? Come over. Adam was now running away. He was not willing to face God. He was not willing to face him because he had sinned. Now there was shame. Shame is telling you you're really not who you claim to be. That is shame. There is guilt. You've done wrong. All these things are all over him. So now before that, he was in authenticity. It was reality. But now he has walked away from reality. He doesn't want to face reality. Who is God? He doesn't want to face authenticity. Who is God? He doesn't want anything to do with anything to be authentic. Now, notice, what does he do? He makes leaves to cover himself. What is he doing? Running away from authenticity. Running away from another word of being authentic is being real. You get it? So as he's running away, he fears to be rejected. That's why he's running away. Now, as you move on, you're born and you're suffering from that. Every human being is suffering from that. We fear authentic. We fear authentic. Yet at the same time, we want to be accepted.
So I gotta use something in between right there.
I gotta find a way. Leaves have to come in, which is project an image of who you are not. Because when you come out as you, remember you've already sinned, you've already messed up. There's a cry in you that you are not whole. Something is missing. Because of that cry, you don't want to come out in your authenticity, so you fear rejection. Because to be authentic, what you're looking for is you need acceptance and then you need authenticity. Okay? Now, in order to enjoy acceptance or a sense of belonging, you must face authenticity. And the only authentic thing in the world all over is God. And guess who we're running away from? God. And so what happens? You gather, get yourself together, and then you see this beautiful girl. Then what God put in your body gets tired up. The hormones and everything. And you look at her and you're like, oh my goodness, this girl is... Oh.
I gotta buy authenticity, right?
Now I gotta buy authenticity. So I'm like, oh yeah. Now, I begin coming out with an image that I'm just manufacturing so that I may be accepted and not rejected. You get it? I also want a sense of belonging. So I start at this level. When I start at this level, when I am buying her a car, it's so that I may be seen as authentic and that I may be accepted.
So, Pastor Cyrus, you're saying that because of this walking away from God, we have substituted it with purchasing authenticity and to look real.
Exactly.
So that this person can give me the feeling I lost.
The feeling you lost of wholeness, of acceptance. And this is where the danger is. When Adam covered himself with leaves And God hadn't even showed up. He just said, where are you? He heard the voice, and then his fake authenticity started crumbling. Oh my goodness, I'm naked. He said, come. Oh no, I'm naked. Now he saw what he lacked. He saw everything he lacked, and then he ran away. Now when it comes to a relationship, like I said, we start from this fallen nature, and it's full of selfishness. I want to create my own version of reality without reality himself, who is God. So most of us run away from God. When we do that, what we remain with is transaction. Because you want authenticity. I borrow a car from Brian.
I go pick her.
I go pick her. Okay? Borrow a car from Brian. Then go borrow a suit from Jeremy. Go borrow this. And then I put up this whole appearance. I'm trying to create a reality. Nothing human beings create outside God will ever be real. It will always be wanting. So I'm projecting an image of who I am not. And when it comes to the girl, she will also project an image. She's also looking for authenticity and acceptance. You get me? Authenticity and acceptance. Now, with that, she'll put on in a manner that can be very, very seductive.
Yes.
Why? I want to be accepted. And I want to make sure when you look at me, I'm everything you ever dreamed of. You get it? I'm everything you ever dreamed of. So she puts on something to tell you I'm accessible and I'm available. I'm all yours. And then, if only you can be now. She's giving you this false version of authentic. And this is where most men lose it. They never recover from it. They just say, man, you so oh my goodness, the God, calm down. What men need to do is calm down, appreciate, you get it? And then get to realize what love is. Grow up from there, begin what I said. Connect vertically. In fact, the number one thing every human being needs is to connect vertically. That means you connect with God, build a relationship with God. Why? God is love. So when you connect with him, this is what happens. You're connecting with love. And he's not just love, but unconditional love. So the first thing, you're connecting with authenticity. You're connecting with everything you ever thought would make you you. Is only God. So now you discover that in God. He gives you the unconditional love. Once you receive unconditional love, you realize I'm accepted and I'm authentic. There's nothing. I mean, I am me. I am loved. I'm accepted. I know who I belong to. I have a sense of belonging. Then from there, when you look at a girl, you don't just look at her boobs. You don't just look at her figure. You don't just look at her eyes, her hair, or anything. When you look at her, you go past that and you want to see the person behind the beauty, because beauty fades, but you want to see the person behind the beauty. You want to love the person, not the beauty.
There are two words here that come into play when you're sharing that depth. Two words: relationship. Relate and shape. Now, when you're sharing, this is what came to my mind. That so many of us have jumped onto the ship and we left the relate.
Thank you.
Because relation or relating means connection. But the ship, we have to put in hard work to make the thing sail. So when you're sharing, this is what comes to my mind.
That's good.
That, in fact, let me borrow a story from Mark chapter 6. You remember King Herod and Herodias?
Yes.
John the Baptist comes and tells them, from verse 21, that you have married your brother Philip's wife.
Yes.
Now the daughter dances so well that Herod, because he's drunk, he feels, I need to reward this person, because he had invited so many delegates, so many people. He needed to look, authentic. He needed to look genuine. He needed to look kingly, which pretty much talks about this generation. The death of someone begins with that lack of authenticity. So if I look at a woman and I tell myself, I need to buy this woman, because many of the relationships today have been reduced to that.
Yeah.
What do you have that I need? And what do you have that I need? So both of us are in need of something.
Both of you are in need of something.
Yes.
We want to find out what that something is that both of you are in need of, that what you call a relationship is actually a transaction. And that's why you're failing. Let's find out in just a minute.
Unlocking Marital Bliss. Unlocking Marital Bliss.
We'll be back. You're still watching Unlocking Marital Bliss with Miss Iris Rhodes. Always a pleasure to have you here. Always a pleasure that you can spend your time to learn. You know, it takes a lot of work to acquire knowledge. Yes, and fools despise knowledge, and that's why they fail. But the wise treasure knowledge. I'm glad you are one of the wise people that are learning and getting able to be successful in your relationship. Before we took a break, I was talking to Brian, and Brian said there's a need for both the male and the female. The male says, I want to buy this girl. And then the girl is like, can you pay? Tell us.
Yeah, so this is where we are at right now.
Yes.
In most relationships, even in marriage. This is where we're at.
It's a sign
How
that-
much are you willing? And this is how we've quoted it.
Yeah.
Is he willing to lay down his life? Because look, even the church has been misled to add these same things to relationships. How much are you willing to pay me? How much are you willing to lay down for me? Now, if a man can't buy you a car, leave alone, take you on a trip, buy you a new phone, take you for a massage, pay your rent, organize your big birthday, do, you know, all sorts of things to prove to the world, and not you, but to the world, that you are actually loved. In fact, if you went around, Pastor Cyrus, and took a census of just information, you realize that so many people will tell you this man does not love this woman because he's not willing to pay the price for her to have a successful life. He's not investing in her business. He's not buying her a car. He's not picking her up on time. He has no future plan he has no mansion. There is, when you look at him, he looks unserious. In fact, this stems, like I told you, it stems from home. So many people will tell you, don't bring for us a taxi driver. Yet these men are real, genuine people that work hard for their money. Don't bring us a man who digs toilets. These guys invest to make a living.
So the parents themselves are transactional, like we mentioned earlier.
Where is it the best?
To them, it's the materials. They literally trade their daughters. They trade out their sons. It's all about the money.
Let me take it further. You see, even in introductions,
Yeah,
some families will tell you
yeah.
a woman will bring her man to be introduced unofficially. This is the first informal visit. And the father will sit with this young boy, say, what do? You have to come up with something. I am just finishing my 4th year as an engineer. Where do you want to work? There's a company called Tech Associates that I want to, start my internship. This is what have they done? Well, they've done NSSF. They're doing, So I'm laying a foundation. So then he says, yeah, you see, my girl here has just finished her degree, her first degree. Me, I hold a master's. I want her to do master's. So are you willing to make sure that my daughter goes to university and complete her master's? So already the platform is been laid.
It's corrupted.
It's corrupted. So the man that's not even the tip of the iceberg. After that small introduction, the man tells you, my daughter in the introduction does not go below 30 million shillings.
So if you're thinking
Or $10,000.
Or $10,000. If you're thinking of introduction, first you see our house is not looking very, very good for a function. You need to send some money to do this function. I have my brothers who need something, So the boy goes back there, tells his fiancée that is there a way that we can mitigate this thing and calm it down and bring it down because I am serious about you. And the woman says, well, you see, my father is a hard man, you see, but because you love me, I think show them that you love me. Now imagine that marriage, not the wedding, because so many women are stuck there. I'm getting married just that one day. But they don't think about the future.
Yeah.
So think about what is going to happen in that home. Whenever the man says something and it's not done, he's going to remind her, by the way, I paid for you. I sweated for you. So that already love has been dissolved, per se. There is now transaction. You give me, I give you. If you don't do my hair, you ain't touching me at night. If you don't, my friends are coming over. If you don't buy the necessities for home, you ain't touching me. You see this? You ain't going to touch it unless you do this. So men have also understood that if I don't pay up, I ain't getting. So it's not relationship anymore. That's why it's easy to say, you know what? I dated that girl, but now I have this. It's like now I drove this Toyota. Now I have a Mercedes Benz. This is what I can invest in. It's the real thing,
But Brian.
And you see, they don't return this. So my investment, if I dated this girl and I've invested in her, and she's not returning my investment, I call it a bad business, bad deal. This is a bad deal.
Now, look at this, Brian.
Yes.
I invested and there are no returns. That was a bad deal. I walk on. You see, that's where the problem is. When you don't know love, you settle for selfishness. Okay? Everything is about you. But people need to understand. You mentioned earlier in your presentation, in your submission, you say, this is what I made my investment. I need to win this girl. Yeah. The father has said, first of all, I want to correct the parents. When the parents don't have love, it's very, very hard for the children to pick up love. So rather than saying this generation is worse.
You can say that again.
If the parents don't have love, it is very, very hard for the children to pick up love because the only thing they will pick up is the trauma of selfishness.
Okay.
So these kids are all totally selfish and traumatized by the selfishness of the parents because the parent came in and wanted to literally transact, okay? Because that's what his father did. That's what his great-grandfather did. And they thought this is a product, okay?
Mr. Cyrus, what about the investment I've put in my daughter? I've paid for from childhood to university.
That is your responsibility. That is your responsibility. And I need parents to understand that when you are developing your child, you develop them because you love them. You don't develop them because you're expecting something in return.
Investing.
No.
Okay.
Not because you expect something in return, okay? You're doing it because that's what you're supposed to do. That's what love does. Look at this. The Bible declares there's no greater love. A lot of men brag about love and all this. No, there's no greater love than a man laying down his life for his friends. Now notice, it's laying down my life. I can give you all the presents, but never give you my presence. I am never there.
First say that gently and bring more light to it.
I can give you presents, give you a Lamborghini, give you Rolls Royce, give you all this. Why am I doing all of this? I am trying to hide who I really am, because if you know who I am, you're going to reject me. I don't want that authenticity.
So let me ask Pastor Cyrus. So if I love this woman, I should not present.
These things.
The first thing, if you love this woman, to be authentic, is remove your clothes. I'm not talking about having sex.
Oh, okay.
No. I know a lot of viewers are like, oh, yeah. No. What I mean is remove the mask. Be vulnerable. Do not fear being rejected.
Suppose you
Be vulnerable. Oh, it's okay. And let me tell you something. How you handle rejection speaks so much of you before a woman. When a woman rejects you and you take it as a man and you say, thank you. That was a moment. I just knew within me that you're the one. But if you're saying no, I will respect that. And I wish you all the best. And you walk. But you know what idiots do? Suffering from rejection. Who do you think you were? I was joking. You're not the one. Who can take you? And you see these idiots, they can't handle rejection. They don't know how to handle it. How are you going to handle love?
Let's take it a little deeper. Now, you're past the first stage. You've gone into the introduction. Her sister just introduced a man.
Yes.
And you attended the function.
Yes.
It was glamorous.
Yes.
As in the word you hear it, glamorous. It was so glittery. It was magnificent.
Yes, sir.
My earnings with the other gentleman are not the same.
Yeah.
She's already told me, you can't come in your normal. I mean, we have to push it a notch higher.
No,
now
Brian.
that's rejection right there.
Now, Brian, look at this.
Yes.
When you fear rejection, you stop being authentic.
Okay.
When Adam turned away from God because of fearing to be rejected, he was turning away from reality. If your sister did something based on their earnings, you got to know who I am. We're starting. This is me. You accepted me.
People are going to speak.
Now that's the problem. They don't make our marriage. We will make it, just the two of us. This is authenticity, Brian. Brian, let me tell you something. The reason people are doing so-and-so is this, so-and-so, they lack authenticity. You be real. Let me use my own example. My wife came to me and said, this is what they're saying, that you got to bring cows, you got to bring this and all this. And I said, go tell them I'm able to give all the cows they want. But I realize, to me, you're not worth the number of cows they're talking about. You're not worth that. You are much more valuable. You're not equivalent to cows. This is what I know. When Christ was given a bride, he paid the bride price. And the bride price was his life for our life. And I told her, go tell your people, I'm not bringing the cows, but I'm willing my life for your life. I'll protect you. I'll guard you. I'll be there for you. I will cover you until Jesus returns. And she went and said that. And said, no, my husband ain't bringing this. I said, does he drive? She said, no, he don't have a car. Okay, what else? Does he have a house? He said, no, but we believe we will grow into that. And they calmed down and they accepted me. And I went. And to this day, I'm still giving my bride price. There's no way I can turn around and say, I bought her. I can never. She's too valuable. She's priceless.
Pastor Cyrus, being in this red chair right now,
Tell me.
which year was that?
Because
You see, reality doesn't have time.
That's true. But this is what I want to bring out. If you tried that today, now I understand the foundation you're laying, which is authentic. It is true. But remember where we started from. These boys, and they're not men, these boys have not been brought up well. I can't take when a woman comes and tells me, you ain't touching me unless you go to the shop and buy me a dress.
No.
They can't handle rejection.
No,
They can't handle the fact that if you went and told them, go back to your parents and tell them, I am willing to lay down my life for you. Because sitting in this red chair, representing these guys,
Yes.
they are telling me right now, Pastor Cyrus, that generation must have passed.
No. I know you're in the red chair and I'm addressing you as one there. I'll tell you this. It's not about generation. Reality is not about time.
Okay.
No.
Yes.
Okay? Being authentic stays irrespective of the time. That's why when you build authenticity by connecting to God first, when you reach out to the woman, you're not coming for her body. You're not coming for sex. You're not coming to get something from her. And she's also not coming to you to give you something so she may get something from you. No, the reality is this. When you become authentic, then love is able to flourish. When there's no authenticity, love cannot flourish. So it's not about age. It's not about the timing. Gen Z, Gen X, baby boomers, whatever, you need authenticity and love will flow. Now look, our fathers, grandmothers and whatever, they were really never loved, okay? But today, I'm a great lover. I am mean for love. I know how to love a woman. Now, with all of that put together, they had their time, they missed their authenticity. In our time, God has revealed it, showing us this is how it works. Begin with authenticity, start with me. Then when you are made up in me, you can go. When you go to that woman, you're not looking for somebody who will be there for you, do this for you, because that's childish. You're going to find a woman who you can be there for, be faithful to, protect, cherish, love, provide. It's all about me giving.
So, Pastor Cyrus, when we're talking about love, the way you submit these things is so intense that I need someone to understand, because when we're talking about love or marriage,
Yes.
for that matter,
Yes.
it's the fullness of the love that I have already that I want to share with someone else.
Yes.
Now, when we're talking about transaction, we don't have that maturity. We don't have that space of saying, I am so full of love, I want to give it to someone else.
No.
Because this person here is lacking. Remember, they were not loved.
Yes.
This woman here is lacking. She was not loved.
Yes.
So both of them are meeting together. And the only connection right there, let me call it connection, is to transact. It's not even a connection. The only business, I don't know what, the word is there.
Yes.
But that's what they understand. If I don't pay up, I'm not getting. And the woman knows if I don't submit, because submission right now is, if you ask marriages, it's dependent on how much the man earns, on how much the man gives. So that's why there's a battle between the finances of a man and the finances of a woman. If a woman earns more, I'm in trouble because there's no love.
I love what you've said.
Did you see what I
If a woman earns more, I'm in trouble.
Yes.
You see, all this is fear. You've never loved.
Exactly.
And now these people are all empty. And then you're thinking, okay, she earns more. It's a transaction. I've remembered one thing you mentioned earlier,
Yes.
where you said, people like, you got to bring, or otherwise you ain't getting nothing.
Yes.
And this is happening even in our churches today.
Yeah.
Do you know how many women or pastors' wives that literally are paid to put up a show for the photo ops? Just put up a show and pretend we are together. And she says, yeah, I'm going to do that. I don't care. You can be stupid, do your stupid stuff, but make sure you pay me. And they are paid heavily. They are paid heavily to keep up an appearance. And they will be out and say, oh my goodness, you're my husband. Oh yeah. But it's a transaction. And that's happening in our churches today. And if that's happening in our churches today, that is so deadly. Then you take me to, it brings you to where you say, okay, now this is what I'm expecting. She's making more money. I'm in trouble. The reality is this, that is not love. All of us need to move away. If you believe a lie for so long, you begin accepting it as truth. They've believed a lie that transaction is love. Transaction is not love. Mama never loved me. Papa never loved me. We've grown up together and now we came together. We don't have love. This is where you need to come to God so love begins. You do not try to make excuses of what mama never did, of what papa never did. You just simply say, now I need the source because mama missed it, papa missed it. I need to get to the source. I need to be authentic. So I go to God, and then I develop a relationship. Stirred. I get born again. I need communication with him. I need to discover how much he loves me, because he says he loves me and he died for me. So now I'm learning how love works. Okay, he came, he had everything good, I had everything bad, yet he loved me. There was nothing he was expecting in return. He just wanted to change my life at his expense, to remove death from me at his expense. And this is what he did, and this is where I am. And the same thing happens when I see that. I'm seeing unconditional love. When I receive unconditional love, then I can go to a woman and be able to say, I know you're beautiful on the outside, but I got to save you. I got to redeem you. I'm your knight in shining armor. I want to change the way you see things. If I can't help you understand what love is, I have failed as a husband. If I can't help you understand, and Brian, you're in the red seat, and I'm bringing all this, the double barrel towards you.
Yes.
If you fail to teach a woman and develop her.
Is she patient enough?
No. If you are patient.
I am patient. But she wants some, she's gone to her friends all over and told them, you see, we are preparing for introduction. But he can't even do half of what my sister's husband just did.
Sit her down.
She's going to leave.
Listen, sit her down, let her walk.
So I start all over again.
Start all over again. That's what real men do. They're not afraid to lose.
So, Pastor Cyrus, I'm going to take forever trying to find a woman.
That's fear, trying to take forever.
Because everyone is rejecting.
Genuine lovers are few. You are special, okay? And let me tell you something. When you sit this girl down, you're developing her. When she says, you got to do this because my sister did this, you tell her that was your sister. And now let's build just you and me. Let me tell you what love is. That is childish. You're developing her. Get out of this childish mentality so she becomes a real woman.
Remember, this is a small town. I'm going to try to date a friend to a friend of hers, and who's going, hey, you're with Brian.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Brian doesn't have any money.
Now, the reason you're so afraid, Brian, is simply because you don't know what love is. Perfect love casts out all fear. I'm not afraid if she says no. I'm not afraid to be rejected. Why should I remain, fake in order to make a marriage? This whole fake thing being...
You're sending me to the village to find someone who is cheaper.
I haven't sent you to the village. Let me tell you, you can teach a woman. The problem is we get blinded by the beauty and then we make transaction. But see her the way God saw you. God didn't say, I'm looking for those who are beautiful. I'm going to die for them. He said, no, I love you.
How about Pastor Cyrus, if I've started off well, like you've said,
yeah,
and along the way she sends me a message, brother Brian, I am in need. I am being chased out of the house. Can you please help me with rent? I'm sorry, I've just thrown this at you, but we love each other, but can you please help me? And the other adrenaline jumps in and you say, you know what? This is an opportunity right there to show her that I am able to take care of you.
Yes.
So you pay up the thing. And then tomorrow, we have something else coming up. My friends just said there's a trip to Dubai. Is it okay if you...
Let me tell you something. You tell her, no, you ain't going to Dubai. I don't have that money to go to Dubai. But I want you to know something.
Maybe I can find it. Can I find it? Do you allow me to go?
No, don't. No, don't. You see, Brian, most of these male figures are wimps.
Pastor Cyrus, you'll be stoned.
Oh, come on. You see, the more authentic you are, the more you say it the way it is.
Okay.
Women need secure men. Strong men, a man who can tell you no. If she throws a tantrum.
I thought you loved me. That's the statement that's going to come in.
Yes. I love you so much to protect you from such childishness.
So you're calling me a child?
Yes. And I'm giving you an opportunity to grow up.
My father does not call me a child.
I'm not your father. I'm going to be your husband, and I'm here to help you grow. What your father never did, I'm here to do 100 times more. That you become a great woman.
I don't think this relationship will work.
There's a door. And let me tell you, that girl will walk thinking, never seen a man like this.
So arrogant.
So, no, when she comes down,
Eh,
the reality will sink in and say, this
we're
guy
there
is
now
genuine.
when it comes. There's a
This guy is
communication.
genuine. You see, the only way, if you prove genuine, the committees will die.
They're going to tell her that man doesn't love you.
Let me tell you, they will tell her everything, but your voice will drown their voices. I know what I'm talking about. Brian, I have a woman, I'm making 21 years, 14th of February, 21 years in marriage.
Yes.
21 years. Just made it, 21 years in marriage. Bliss. And I know the things I told her. I know how I corrected her. I corrected her one time, first time when we met a few weeks. I said, what are you doing is not proper. She said, who do you think you are?
Uh-huh.
I said, I'm Cyrus Rod. And say, and so my father never did that to me. Nobody talks to me like that. I'm going to get my purse and walk out of this restaurant. We were in a restaurant. And I told her, I dare you. And she picked her bag, walked out. People laughed. I stood as a man. Next morning, I called her and I said, hey, can we meet? And she said, yeah. And she came all smiling, thinking, oh, yeah. I said, no, yesterday when you walked out on me, I was still correcting you.
Ah, so that's where the difference is right there.
Yeah.
Because if we don't consistently do the things we're supposed to do, then we lose the whole relationship.
We'll lose the whole relationship.
There's one misconception I want to just air out so that you can say as you close. There's this thing about introduction.
Yes.
I've had parents, personally, I've had some parents talk about Abraham sending a servant with wealth.
Yes.
And they never talk about Jacob.
Yes.
Jacob worked 7 years or 14 years to get actually the woman he loved.
Yes.
He had no bride price.
Transaction.
He worked.
Yes.
So the misconception I want to just air out here is, in my capacity,
Yes.
I may not be like Abraham,
Yes.
but I have genuine love.
Yes.
I may not have the dowry that their parents are asking for, but I will lay down my life for this woman.
Yes.
Because I might be a Jacob
Yes.
that will work hard to ensure that I get her and keep her.
Yes.
I'm not like that man who has a lot of money.
Yes.
So the misconception today is about the things that come. You've seen the TVs.
Yes.
You've seen what is on media. Someone changes 7 times. Someone changes 8 times. The things that come through there are, purely transactional. So what would you tell me as a man sitting in this red chair who has this girl that comes from a materialistic family,
Yes.
but I feel I need to clean her. I feel I'm genuine towards her.
Yes.
Go develop her.
How?
That's the
She's
word.
too materialistic.
Go tell her. Teach her what life is and what the dangers of being materialistic. Because she's running away from authenticity. That's why she's so materialistic. So teach her. Show her the right path. That's the answer. That's the role of a man. You develop a woman. You don't look for a developed woman. You develop her.
Is she willing?
It's your choice. Oh, man. I got to stop here. Brian, we could roll and roll and roll. But our time is up. You had it from Brian. And we can say honestly, today you can make a choice whether you're going to walk transactional or you're going to walk in love. The choice is yours. And do not be defeated because you can make it. See you next time, same time. Remember, marriage is easy.
Ignorance is hard.
Unlocking marital bliss.